this video, we're going to take a look at how you can merge two scenarios to make one scenario. To do a merge, simply go to Editor, click on Merge Scenarios. Whenever you're doing a scenario merge, there's a couple things you want to kind of keep in the back of your head. The first thing is you need to consider about what did you name everything. So if you named a bunch of teams blue with BLU and a bunch of teams with blue BLUE, those two sides will not merge the same unit, and the side itself will be two separate sides, and we'll see that as an example. The second thing you need to think about is what database you're going to be working with here. If one scenario is the Cold War database and the other one is going to be the modern database, merging the two can create a bit of a disaster, so you want to be very, very cautious with this. The other option you have, of course, is whether or not you want to merge clones. So for example, if I made one scenario and I went ahead and went one way with it, and then I took the same scenario and went somewhere else, and then tried to merge both of those branches into one scenario, we can actually make it so it's smart enough to know not to make copies of individual units. But again, that depends. So what we're going to do is we're going to merge the two different scenarios together to see a result. So I'm going to go to Scenario 1. I'm simply going to select the one that we like. We're going to select Scenario 2, select the one that we like here. And we're going to go ahead and save this merged scenario as a sample 3 here. I'm going to press OK, yes. Now, when it comes to database match tolerance, it's very important that you pick this carefully. So the first one is make sure it's the same version. If you do not have the same version, but they're close, this can usually be using this option in the middle. Otherwise, if there's any sort of database incompatibility, it will blow up on you and basically give you an error. The bottom possibility is do not check for database match. This is very dangerous because you could run into a situation where there's no error checking. It's just kind of go at it. So I'm going to select the same general database, and I'm going to leave this allow merging. Press the merge button, and what it's going to do is it's going to take the two scenarios, take a look at all the different sides, merge all the different sides, and then go through each individual unit that's going to be going on and creating them where they need to go. It's going to take any event triggers or actions, any special Lua scripts, anything that you have, and then it goes ahead and merges the complete scenario. So in this case, I'm going to load example. I'll go ahead and pop open my example 3 here, which is my new merged. And you can see we have a wide variety of different sides at our disposal on account of the fact that, again, they weren't named the same thing. So in this case, if I take a look at my blue side here, I notice that there's a wide variety of units. But if I actually zoom out a little bit, you can see my map is packed with many, many different units that are from the two separate scenarios that we're looking at, and all the sides are represented in. Now, let's say we wanted to do this again, but we wanted to make it so that the blue also inherits all of our green sides from the previous scenario. To do that, we'll simply go ahead and open up my example 2, and we'll make a quick little adjustment to the names of everything. In this case, I'll go back up to Edit Size. I'll take my green units. I'll go ahead and change it by doing a rename, and I'll very, 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 very carefully spell it out exactly as I had with the other team. So I'll say my orange side, I'm going to rename these as going to be red. So I'm now going to go ahead and press close. I'll go ahead and save my scenario, and then we'll try the merge again and see what happens this time. So I'll go merge scenarios, scenario 1. We're simply going to come down and take my example 1. Scenario 2, we're going to take my example 2. We're going to go ahead and select example 3 as my merged scenario. We're also going to go ahead and set this to be a very, very same general. And again, we need to allow merging in the event we have two of the same unit. In this case, not going to be a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and press merge, and I'm going to let the two scenarios go ahead and open. They're going to identify the different sides. They're going to merge all the different sides together, and then they're going to go ahead and save the final resultant. So I'm going to go pop over my example 3 one more time. And now you'll notice I have 2 different copies of these particular sides. Again, this is something you're going to have to watch out for when you build these particular scenarios. You know, if I zoom out and kind of take a look around, I can see very, very clearly that my blue side has got everybody here, including my units up at the tippy top there. But I accidentally have an extra copy of each one of these sides, even though these two sides are exactly the same sides. If I shut off God's eye view here, you can see this initial side is actually going to be that 2 pieces there. If I select this one here, you'll notice I got an exact copy of everyone. The reason this happened is because we didn't merge the clones that we needed to merge from before. So if I want to fix this real quick, I can go through and I could delete that entire side. You know, if I go to Add Edit Side and I delete my copy here, obviously whenever you remove a side, it takes all the units with it. I can remove this copy right here. Press the OK. And now you'll notice if I switch over to my different sides, I have lost everything because I didn't make that particular clone of the one that we had before. So you have to be very, very, very careful whenever you're making any sort of those merges that this type of situation does not happen. And again, it's something you're going to have to watch out for. So we'll go back up to our merge here. We'll go back to our scenario merge scenarios. We'll go ahead and select our 2 scenarios again. Example 1, grab this one right here. We'll grab our example 2. We'll go ahead and say allow merging clones of the same. If you do not option this option, you know exactly what's going to happen. So we'll go over to example 3. And we're going to go ahead and say use general DB. Press the option here, merge. It's going to open everybody up. It's going to merge the sides. I'm going to go ahead and close that. Let's reopen the scenario and take a look at exactly what happened this time. Now let's take a look at the sides. We'll go up to Editor, add Edit Sides, and I notice I only have one blue, one red, and one purple. In this case, if I double-click the red, I've got all the units that we had on red side, including the ones up at the top. If we go up here and double-click on blue, you can see I have a copy of all those units as well.